Hello and welcome at the start of a new video series where I'm going to be teaching you all about the Spigot API and how you can make plugins with it. Now, to get started, you obviously want like an IDE, which basically means integrated development environment, and it helps you code. Now, I prefer IntelliJ. It's made by JetBrains and the community edition is free. I'm going to link it down below, and you want to go to the link and click it and then download it here. Now, I obviously already have it installed, and you just want to install it, pause the video, and come back once it is installed. Now, after you've done that, we are going to want to open our IntelliJ. And once it has started, we want to actually install a plugin. It's not a Minecraft plugin or anything, it's just a plugin in IntelliJ. You can find it around the plugins tab, go to Marketplace, and then just type in Minecraft. See, it's the Minecraft development API. Now, once you've installed that, we can, you just click install and you install it. But once we have installed that, we can make a project and click new project. Then you have this nice Minecraft icon right here, and we can just click the Spigot API. It's really useful. Then we can click next. The group ID and artifact ID is just basically the group ID is the name, and the name I just use like com.yourname, like IQ. It's some stupid name, but you know, it works. Then the plugin name. The plugin name is going to be, I don't know, you can call it whatever you want. Really, doesn't matter. You can do, I'm just gonna name it my first plugin. There we go. And we're gonna do my first plugin. Oh, that's some color, can't do that. And we want to choose our Minecraft first. I'm going to use 1.16.5, and then we click next. We want to give our project a name, of course. I'm just going to do it YT tutorial. Then we click finish. Alright, so right here we have our project. We have our folder. Oh, it's initializing project, really. Now, once that's done, we have our folders. It's source, main, Java, the artifact ID, and name, com.iq.myfirstplugin. And this is our main class. A class is basically a container of code and that will run. Now, this method, as it's called, is our onEnable method. This gets ran every time the plugin starts, or well, the server starts. So this is where we want to, for example, register our commands and events and set up our databases, etc. Same goes for onDisable, but that gets ran if you disable your plugin when the server stops, or yeah. Now you also have this little folder called resources. You just want to click it and double click plugin.yml. Now this is where you where you register all your commands. If you don't register a command right there, it'll don't know what to do and it'll give you an error. Now for our version, I'm just going to do 0.0.1 because it's our first plugin, and well, not because it's our first plugin, it's because it's our first version. And see that the main class of our plugin matches up to the com.iq, and my first plugin matches with this name. See, so now the server will know, oh, I need to run that class in order to start that plugin. but that's more theoretical. Now let's get to actually creating a command, shall we? Now you want to create, or well, you don't have to, but it keeps your code organized, and it's really good practice to like keep a package. A package is basically a folder. Well, it's literally a folder, and you can put other files in it. It's to keep the things organized. I'm just gonna name it command. Oh well, commands, but you know, can't be bothered to change that right now. Command fly, because we're gonna create a fly command that gives you fly if you do /fly. Now we want to do implement command executor. Now this will error. That's because we need to have some methods that aren't implemented yet. So you can just right click it, click show content actions, and implement methods. There we go. IntelliJ did this all for us just for free. Now, you have if you want to create a command, there's one thing you have to always keep in mind. You have the console and you have the player who runs the command. Now, if the player runs the command, that's fine, fly command. But we can't make the console fly, right? So what we need to do is check if it's a player running the command. That's not that hard as it sounds. Now, what we want to do is just if sender instance of player with a capital P. Now, if this is true, it just checks, hey, the one who sent this, are you a player? Then we run this. And then we can add an else block, else run, let's say, sender.send message, you are not a player, so you can't fly. Now we have that out of the way. We can just do, we can get the player variable. Now we do that by player, remember the capital P, and then the variable name doesn't need a capital P, it just needs to be player equals sender. This errors. See? Red line. This is because it can be a console that sent the command, but we know it isn't because we just checked it if it was a player. So we can do something called casting. Casting is basically telling Java, hey, we know for a fact this is this, and you don't have to worry about it. So we can just cast it to a player. See? Error goes away. Now, if we want to allow the player to fly, we can just do player.setFlight, set allow flight, true. Now, basically what this part does, it makes it so the player can double tap a spacebar and glide like it was in creative. But how do we make the player know the command worked? We can just do player not send message, let's choose a color code, NE, you may fly now. That's basically it for our command. But now there's two other things we need to do. You need to do this for every command you make. Let's go to our main class, my first plugin. You want to do bucket.get plugin command. Then you just want to call it no slash. That makes it so you have to type 2 slashes, but we don't want that. We just want to do /fly. If we do this, you'll have to type /fly for it to work, because Spigot automatically makes it so there's a slash in front of it. Set executor new command fly. Now basically what this does, it's telling, hey, if this command gets run, we need to run new command fly, which happens to be this, our fly class. Now, that's not the last thing we want to do. We also need to do our plugin.yml. We need to register the command in the plugin.yml as well. We just need to do commands, then we do fly. Then there's a few things we can do, like aliases. If we do example /f f, or I want to do float, then those will work as well. But we can just leave it at that. You don't need aliases. It's just something useful. Then the description. Let's you fly like there. And then there's another one we have to do. That one is usage. It's like basically a way to describe the command. We just want to do just /fly. You just do /fly and you can fly. There's nothing special about this command really. And the only two that are mandatory are description and usage. Else the command won't work. Aliases is just, it's optional. You don't have to do that. Now, if we want our plugin to work, we want to go here, run configuration, right click it and click run. You'll see here, it did something. What did it do? Well, there came a new folder up here, build. There you have libs, that's where the jar gets built. And there you have it, your plugin. Perfectly manufactured. Now, if we want this, we're gonna have to drag it in. Let me make this a bit smaller. We're gonna have to put it in the folder of our server. In plugins. There we go. Now, wait, actually, I need to delete that. I made that just so I could know what I was going to tell you. Now, what we want to do is open our CMD and just type java-jar and then the name of your server jar. In my case, it's spigot-1.16.5.jar. So I'm gonna do spigot 1.16.5.jar. There's no GUI because I don't want a GUI. There we go. Now, you'll have to load for this, well, you have to wait for this to load, which might take some time depending on how fast your computer is. Okay, now it's done. See, it says type help. If it says that, it's done. Then you want to connect to localhost, which basically means, hey, it's on this computer, you can connect to that. And there. See, UUID of player medline is something. And here we are on our server. If you type something in chat, we'll see it in the console. Now, what we can do is /fly. It says you may fly now. And it works. Now, you saw that it said just fly, and that's my mistake. That's you're supposed to return true. And if you don't know what return is, it basically tells hey, this command works. If you return true in the command, it just tells Spigot, hey, it works. You don't have to send the message of usage, because if you remember, just /fly is what I typed in here. It sends you the usage if the command returns false. So we're gonna have to do return true. But there's also another thing. That is, it didn't translate the color. Now, what if we want to do that? We can do. Just gonna copy this. We're gonna do chat color dot translate alternate color codes. That we want to put our symbol in there, and we want to put our text in here. So basically, it says, "Hey, if this character, then behind that just translate the color." And he is some color, I don't remember. I think it's like lime green or something. And then you can translate it. It'll just make that color. It'll be a green "you may fly" now. Also, everybody can run this command. You probably don't want that. So, what we are also going to do is check if the player has a permission. So now we obviously want a permission. So not everybody can execute the command. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, actually it's quite easy. We are going to do if player dot has permission fly dot use. Then run this. We are just going to copy and paste this in here. Else player dot send a message. We want to make it a colorful message because that's just nice. Just so do again chat color dot translate alternate color codes. I'm just gonna make it red and bold. You do not have the permission to do this! Exclamation mark. And then we are just going to, well, return true anyway, because we don't want it to send the usage. Because it ran, it was used the correct way, but it didn't work. That's something else. Then you used it incorrectly, and now there's an error. Alright, so now if the player has the permission, fly.use, he can do it. He can fly. Else, the player is going to get a message that he cannot do it. Now, it's actually quite simple. So this is what we did. I'm going to build it again. And meanwhile, I'm going to stop the server, because you need to stop it in order to replace the plugin. So yeah. Now, what we want to do is just do it again. Get it right here. And put it in plugins. It'll say, hey, you already have a file. Yes, that's fine. We know. We can just replace it. Now, run it again. The server. We're gonna have to wait a bit. There, it's done. Nice. Now, we can go to localhost again. And we can see that we can no longer do /fly. See, you do not have to give permission to do this. But if I add myself, basically give myself all the permissions, I can do it. You may fly now. There we go. I can fly. Oh, and this is survival, by the way. See, I get damage if I stand up here. Now, this was just the tip of the iceberg. Speaking of the Spigot API, I'm gonna upload more videos. These are fun to make. Make sure to join my Discord. Link will be in the description. And until then, keep experimenting with the API, and bye.